So share with us your story and strategy and philosophy around not writing a book yet.
It's such a sweet, I don't think I've done a lot of podcasts. I don't think I've ever talked about this. It's such a sweet and tender subject, actually. Because I don't know when I consciously realized I wanted to write a book, but I've probably wanted to write a book my whole life. And when I started my business, it was definitely right away. I was like, yeah, the book. And I hired a friend of mine to help me start to write the draft. And we spent, I don't know, 6 to 18 months. I can't remember exactly, like just plain calling information, crafting the table of content, like really geeking out, super creative process. And then I started to talk to people who were book experts. And I talked with people who had done traditional publishing, and I talked with people who were more like, I don't mean to, entrepreneurial books, which are not necessarily like
self-published. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually I think it's less about the type of publishing, although I know that's what I said, and more about the purpose of the book. That was what I started to get, was like, do you want this book to get you clients? Do you want this book to build your visibility? Do you want this to be a lead magnet? And all those things, I was like, I mean, sure, but that's not really why I want to write the book. I want to write the book because I want the book to be like a book that I would see at the bookstore. Like, I want that kind of book. And immediately it was just like, yeah, that's nope, you're not going to do that. Not with these numbers, not at this time. And so I explored some of the other options for how to write a book. And it was just like, yeah, it's a distraction for me right now. My creative process needs to write the book. So I have continued to write the book. There's more than one book now, but my business doesn't need a book. And in fact, my business kind of needs me to not be focused on a book right now. So for me, there was a big turning point where I actually put the book aside for maybe a year and a half or 2 years, because I was just like, this is totally taking me on a wild goose chase. I'm in a fantasy about being discovered and picked, and my book being so important that Oprah puts it on her, whatever. And that I don't have any of the pieces in place. This is magical thinking for me. So ever since that time, I've been working to put the pieces in place. That I haven't tabled that vision. I'm actually being strategic about that vision. And it was really interesting when Megan invited me to contribute.